presents those ideas in beautiful prose and engaging stories. You are holding just such a book in your hands. I first became acquainted with the writing of Sarah Connell Sanders by admiring her essays in our local city magazine, where she writes about culture, food, fashion, and more. When I finally met her in person and discovered that she was a veteran teacher and school librarian working in the same public school district where my wife also taught, I realized immediately that she was the ideal person to share the gospel of small teaching to elementary educators everywhere. As with small teaching online, I made a small contribution to the creation of this book, but most of the words you will hear are Sarah's. I hope that you will find as much pleasure as I have in hearing her graceful prose. One of Sarah's accomplishments in this book is the way in which it pushes the ideas from the original book into new territories and offers new reflections on the idea of small teaching. You will find my favorite example of such a reflection in the book's introduction, and a pair of sentences that I wish I had written myself. I want to know the fundamentals of how children learn and then be allowed to use my own creativity and experience to apply those lessons to my own classroom. No matter what new state mandate or administrative fiat has been sent down to shape my classroom, I want to make sure I am still staying true to the basic principles of education that will ensure my students are safe, happy, and learning. This might be the best description of what I hope all three small teaching books offer to teachers everywhere: an accessible introduction to some new research on how their students learn, some examples of how teachers can translate that research into daily classrooms routines, and a deep respect for the creativity and commitment of readers. I have spent my whole life among teachers: my mother, my wife, some of my siblings and their spouses, friends from high school and college, and all of the colleagues that both my wife and I have worked with over the past 2 or 3 decades. Teachers have always been the most creative people I have known in my life. The teachers I know don't need to have someone standing over them and ensuring that they are doing their best work. They are dedicated to their work and to their students. Give them the information they need, and they will find ways to surprise themselves and their students with what they dream up. I hope that Sarah's ideas and the concept of small teaching will give you some new fodder for your teacherly creativity. I hope that the opportunity to exercise your pedagogical imagination in new ways will inspire you to take renewed joy in your work. I hope, finally, it will give you a reminder of what inspired you to become a teacher in the first place. James M. Lang, Ph.D., Worcester, Massachusetts, April 24th, 2022. Introduction. Sarah Connell Sanders. As a teacher, I do everything in sixes: 6 guiding questions, 6 project deadlines, 6 classroom stations. You get the idea. Numerologists believe the number 6 is both stable and karmic. Mathematicians call 6 the smallest perfect number. Guitarists play with 6 strings. Bees build their hives with 6 sides. Gamblers risk their fortunes on the fate of a 6-faced die. Coffins rest 6 feet under the ground. I was not surprised to read the Pew Research Center's finding that 1 in 6 U.S. teachers work second jobs, making us 3 times as likely as U.S. workers overall to hold down multiple gigs, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. In my years as a teacher, I have supplemented my own meager salary by waitressing, lifeguarding, coaching, and writing. I am the 1 in 6, and I am tired. So is Anne Lang, a 25-year veteran of public school teaching.